Wow. It's kind of dark. 1 second, guys. There we go. That's better. Okay. All right. So I've been seeing a lot. People saying, not seeing a lot, but recently, on Reddit, right? I've been seeing people saying stuff like, is three stacking cheating? Right? And I'm not just talking about predators with more masters or like 4Ks and like 20 bombs, not just those guys, but three stacking in general. Is it cheating? Because I don't really like when people, I really don't like when people get mad about let's use the L Star for example. I really don't like when people get mad about the L Star because it's literally in the game, right? It's like everyone can use it, everyone can do it. I don't get complaining about my throat always gets so dry. I have something in there whenever I do these videos. It's such a weird thing I do. I don't know why. I'm sorry. Okay. Anyways, yeah. All right. Three stacking in pubs or three stacking in BR pubs or arena pubs. What do I think about it? I think it's definitely not cheating. I think that the people who are mad about people three stacking in pubs, that goes beyond predators and masters and people with 4K 20 badge, whatever. I think those are probably people that either don't have a consistent group of people they could play with, or they don't spend enough time trying to grow that group of people they could play with. Because as someone that's master, ooh, the big title, but as someone who's a master, as someone who has a 4K on one of their characters, as someone who has a 20 bomb on that same character, as someone that has almost 20,000 kills on one character, 5 million, almost 6 million damage on one character. I know, ooh. But as someone who has that, someone who might be considered, higher skill player, higher up there, I know for sure that when I'm champion, I bet I give off that same vibe that seeing those, maybe not predators because it's not a predator, but seeing those big stats, seeing those badges and stuff, you know what I mean? I bet it definitely gives off that same vibe, right? To be fair. Not trying to say anything about it like, ooh, I'm so cool or some shit, but, it probably does, right? It probably does. So, anyways, what do I think about it? I think they're getting an advantage. Yeah. Is it an unfair advantage or is it an advantage that you can't obtain in game? No. Is it their fault they're playing the game with their friends using the friend system, using the lobby system that allows them to play with multiple people? No. Is it maybe Respawn's fault for putting you in a lobby with people that have a 3.0 KD? Because I have pretty close to that 2.7 this season, right? It was 3.0 at one point, but now it's 2.7 something, so I'm not going to lie. But what I'm trying to get at is, it's more of the matchmaking, guys. It really is, you know what I mean? And it's the only way I could see it being fair would be if you took away the ability to play with your friends completely, right? And who the fuck wants that? I don't think anyone wants that. I think a lot of people would actually hate that, and that would make the player base drop significantly. Because, and here's another aspect of it. Have you guys played with randoms? Like, you guys ever solo queued? Not no fill, because no fill is different. But have you ever solo queued with randoms? You guys know how frustrating that gets sometimes, especially when you're maybe a little more involved in the game than, like, the average, well, let's say the bottom 50%, right? You're probably gonna get frustrated at some point of having a teammate that runs off on their own, gets in a fight close to you, to where that enemy squad's gonna see you, and they're gonna want to kill you, right? That's gonna, you know what I mean? Like, that's gonna piss you off, right? Especially if they're not talking, or they're pinging excessively their respawn banner, or they're pinging enemies excessively, or they're pinging respawn beacons excessively, or they're talking, being rude on the mic, or they're, you get the picture, right? No one wants to deal with that. All right. Least of all, and I'll say it, for me, I me now that I'm like a higher, I would say a higher skill player, right? I know people are gonna hate it when I say that shit. I can fucking tell. I'm sorry. Well, I'm not sorry. I feel like that's the truth. A higher skill player, not the highest, because you know, it's not like I'm a little bit into the competitive scene, but like I'm not like, you know, pro, and I would barely consider myself amateur. I don't even think that. I think it's more like open, where it's like, oh, anyone can join. That's where I would put myself, like, in the higher end of open, below that. But that's besides the point. What I'm trying to say is, kind of goes along with my other video I did the other day, the last live stream I did, where I was talking about how, like, um, not using your mic and stuff, like how frustrating that can be to play with, how it lowers the quality of the match for everyone, and like, I honestly feel like when and I've had my friends that tell me this, and they're not even in the competitive scene, and I barely am too. Like I said, I barely am too. I really barely am. But they're not even like, they're platinum players. They hit diamond and then they call it a quits. You know what I mean? They don't. You get what I'm saying, right? Like, but they're still high kills. They still have thousands of kills on some characters. They're still really good players. Not gonna lie. They're definitely, I would say above average. But anyways, um, I'm starting to get this way too, and I feel like I'm just spoiled because you don't want to play with people that are like either low skill level or like don't have a mic, you know, like, it really hinders your experience, dude, because this game is a team-based game, right? And it is so vital to have a like cooperative team. And like, even if you don't use your mic, you still can be a good player. You can ping, and you can like be really close to your squad and be really intuitive. Yeah, it does take a little more, maybe not more effort, but it takes a different kind. You're putting your effort towards a different kind of gameplay. But what I'm getting at is, uh, I don't have anything against guys that three stack. Maybe when I was first starting out, right? Sorry, I know that was gross. Excuse me. But maybe when I was first starting out, I would get like, angry when I would see like, a pred lobby. I've even had my friends do it. Like, they're like, oh, why are we in this lobby? And why would they put us in this lobby? Like, oh, fuck this. I hate this game, right? But honestly, if you look at the dive trails when you're going out of the jump ship, you'll see there's predators in there, there's masters in there, there's diamonds in there. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you don't have high skill players in there. I feel like it deters people from wanting to play, or it demotivates them from wanting to play when they see like when they see like predators or a master. You know what I mean? Especially when they have like like 10,000 plus kills, 20,000 plus kills, 30,000 plus kills, like millions of damage, like thousands of wins. Like, yeah, it would probably deter you from wanting to play. I know it does. I've experienced it. You know what I mean? I've been there. It's like, well, fuck, I don't even want to go against these guys. Like, you're like, fuck, I'm just gonna leave the game and like re-queue up, right? Like, fuck this, right? Like, sorry for cussing so much, but yeah, I know people hate that too. But sorry, guys. Yeah, so like I know it bugs people, dude. I know it does, guys. But honestly, what I'm trying to get across is you're gonna run into it either way. In a way, maybe not predators, but you'll see masters, you'll see diamonds in the dive trail, and if not, a lot of them turn their trails off too, or because they don't like getting landed on. I know for sure people hate when they have trails on and then like a whole squad just lands on them and punches them out. You know what I mean? That is so annoying. But I guess what I'm trying to say is they're in there already. There's already high skill players in there, whether they're the 1 out of 60 that's highlighted, in the champion screen or not, they're in there. Trust me. And honestly, a lot of the times you can either look at it two ways, and this was kind of like what I experienced and what me and my friends kind of went through too. You can either look at it like, oh, it's a predator squad, we're not going to win. You kind of defeat yourself before you even start, self-defeating, you know what I mean? And then you can look at it like another way. You can look at it like, oh, um, this is a chance for me to get better. This is a chance for me to go against like the best of the best, right? My chance to go against like my bad, guys. Oh, this is my chance to go up against like high school players. This is my chance to play against someone who has a higher skill level than me, and maybe I can take something away from that fight that'll make me a better player, right? That will help me um, be more successful at this game, right? Maybe I can take away something from this. I can learn something from this. And if I do run into them, because the chances are that you'll run into them are kind of low, you know, the chances of like them dying, they're not as high as everyone else because obviously they're better players, but like the chances of them, getting landed on because they have their trails and people are going to see it, or the chances of them winning aren't that much higher than yours, maybe, like their win percent is higher, maybe like 20, 25, maybe, and maybe yours is at like 7, 8, 9, 10. But really it's not much that higher of a chance, not that much higher of a percentage. So like, yeah. What I'm trying to get across is you're going to see them anyways, you're going to play against them anyways, right? So like you might as well not let it ruin your time, and you might as well, because you're going to get in the lobby anyways with them, you might as well look at it as like, okay, this is a chance for me to get better. This is a chance for me to grow at this game, right? To get better at this game. And don't get so demotivated by it. Don't get deterred by it. You know what I mean? And what that also does, and for the casual players too, what that does is that allows you to keep enjoying a game that you like to play in your pastime, and it doesn't ruin that small time frame, that you have to play. Like maybe you only have like under an hour or like 2 hours, right? Like 30 minutes to 2 hours to play Apex, right? And uh, even queuing up for a match and getting inside the match and stuff, that's a couple minutes, right? That's like what? That's like more than 100th of like the time you have to play, right? You don't want to, you don't want to spend your time, getting angry or pissed off about it, right? You don't want to waste what little time you have of actually doing something you enjoy and feeling like, oh, fuck this. Like, there's no way I'm gonna win, or there's no way I'm gonna get better, And like, I don't know. I also feel like, in a way, when you focus on winning, like getting wins, or when you focus on getting kills, for me at least, what happens is I stop I stop playing how I usually play, and in a weird way, when I focus on like being successful at getting kills or wins, I don't take the fights I'm supposed to take. I feel like when I focus on kills, I feel like I'm rushing into fights and not really like assessing whether I'm gonna like win the battle or not. I'm just trying to go and get as much as possible and do as much as possible, right? And what ends up happening is you end up dying a lot more doing stuff like that. And then it's actually kind of consequential to your goal. Then you actually like your KD drops because you're pushing things you shouldn't be pushing. You're putting yourself in situations you can't handle, or you think you can handle, but you're not like 100% sure on. So your confidence is already diminished. You know what I mean? It's really like damaging to you. You know what I mean? And then what happens is you get caught up in that cycle where you're like, I want to get a lot of kills. I want to get a lot of, damage. But what ends up happening is you end up limiting yourself and limiting how much time you have in game with one life. And it just, it destroys your motivation for doing it. It makes you angry. You feel upset. You feel like, if you don't hit your goal, you're going to get pissed off. And like, oftentimes it kind of like it gives the opposite effect you want. It gives you the opposite result that you're going for, that you're aiming for. So I would just say play to the best of your abilities. Don't get caught up in trying to farm kills, dude. Because I'll tell you, those I've played with some people that just focus on getting kills and stuff, and it was some of the most stressful matches I've ever had. They get so angry, they don't listen to anything. They're just rushing in the game, and then they just leave as soon as they get down. They just leave the game, and like it ruins your experience with them. They're unhappy. No one's happy. They never like get better. I feel like, you know what I mean? Or like maybe they do, right? I don't have a lot of experience doing it. All I know is like, you kind of get a little bit better because you're playing fast paced all the time, right? So you're kind of used to that fast paced action, but it has this opposite effect where when you're so used to that fast-paced action, like I said, you push things that that either your teammates that aren't used to playing that way, or you just getting used to playing that way, you start getting frustrated at the game. You stop playing the game at like the speed it's supposed to be played. You're playing too fast, and you're pushing stuff too fast, and for me, I'm a real big like competitive, like I know I just said I was not that big in the competitive scene, but for me, how I like to play is I like to play for the win, right? And so when you're playing like competitively, whether it's in a tournament or whether you're playing ranked, if you go pushing everything, you're gonna get third party, fourth party, fifth party. You're gonna die. There's no way you're not gonna do it. Trust me. Unless you're like some super gnarly, super cracked 1% of the 1% guy, you're not gonna, and maybe in bronze lobbies, maybe if that's what you do is you boost in bronze lobbies, maybe that's, you can definitely play that way, I feel like. Or if you tank your KD so that way you're in like lower level lobbies, definitely. You probably are gonna get a lot of kills, right? But for the guys that are playing in like diamond lobbies, platinum lobbies, even honestly, because those are getting kind of sweaty now too. Platinum lobbies, diamond lobbies, master predator, that kind of stuff. It's not the focus of the game isn't getting kills, because you get 6 KP, you're maxed out. And if you die before 10 squads left, most of the time, when you're platinum, you get negative 36 right off the bat. So to get 6 kills, you're only gaining 24 RP. It is so backwards of what you want to be doing in Battle Royale. Now, Arenas is a little bit different. In Arenas, it's definitely like, it's slow. I'm going to be honest with you. When me playing in like Master, I'm a Master in Ranked Arenas. I know it doesn't go by, like rank. I know it goes by MMR, like your hidden ranking, but even then, it is like how people play in Ranked Arenas. It's like you get on ahead. You get like, okay, let's say Overflow. Overflow, you get Pathfinder. You go on a pillbox, that little pillbox on the opposite side where the bank is. You get there, you try to get there first, you grapple on there, and then you head glitch the whole time, dude. And if you try to play fast against something that you can only see, like, it's such a tiny little. The hitbox on Pathfinder's head is so small, guys. If you try to play fast against a Pathfinder that has a head glitch on you, the chances of you having God movement, and then being able to aim at a target that is super tiny, the chances of you winning against someone like that can see you fully, it is so low, dude. It's like 98, 95% of his body is hidden, and you have this little 5% target, and 100% of your body's exposed. You know what I mean? When you get into those high ranks, it is not about fast gameplay. It's not all about fast gameplay. All right, I'll tell you that right now. It's not all about fast gameplay. There definitely is moments where, like, well, this is kind of how it goes in Ranked Arenas. You're all in like a cover. You're all peeking, or you're all head glitching, or you're trying to team fire on someone. Basically, what you're trying to do is you're trying to get a knock. You're trying to be close enough with your squad, and excuse me, sorry guys. You're trying to be close enough with your squad. You're trying to be organized enough with your squad, and you're trying to get one knock so that way you can push up fast. And this only lasts a couple seconds. You're trying to push up fast, you get the 3v2, and then wipe it so that way you get to the next round. That's a lot of what I see. You know what I mean? That's a good amount of what I see. The other half would be both teams are separated. You get a knock on one person goes to revive because they're so separated, and then you team shoot them from mid-range to close range. Like anything, you team shoot them basically, and then you get another knock, and then you push in, or you just shoot the other guy trying to get in there, right? That's how a majority of Ranked Arenas goes. If you're not, and 10 to 15% is grenades. You know what I mean? Like, you get spammed by grenades and then you're dead too. That's a really common thing to see. But a lot of it is like mid range, especially on like Party Ship or whatever. Mirage's Party Ship or whatever, the crashed one. It is mid range on top of those two ships, or on the other side, on those other parts where it's like that, and there's the building in the middle, and you're just shooting at each other, trying to get a knock, or trying to get two people cracked so that way you could push up and wipe them out, or grenade spam them. You could shoot them, grenade spam them, same thing, I feel like. But yeah, a lot of that's what a lot of it is. It's not, there's there's such a short amount of it that's actually fast paced, and don't get me wrong, the shooting is fast paced, the going in and out of cover is fast paced, but it's more of like, I'm talking about like that movement, where you're crouch sliding, jumping, and then you're shooting someone on the side like you're in the Matrix or some shit. Like, that's honestly like not, that's such a short amount of the game. That's such a short part of it. But so what I'm getting at is, I kind of got off topic here. I was talking about 3 stacking, and now I'm talking about something completely different. But basically, what I'm trying to get at is that Yeah, what was I trying to get at? I was just talking about ranked arenas, and now I did completely went off topic from three stacking. But yeah, so to tie it back to three stacking, having solo queuing and ranked arenas, solo queuing and ranked BR, like I was saying, it is so hard to do it with people that don't have a mic or are low skill players or do their own thing and don't communicate with the squad or aren't experienced, right? It is so much easier being able to communicate and to organize yourselves and move effectively. It is such a world of difference, guys, I'm telling you. And so when you have a full squad and you're able to move as a unit, it gives yeah, it is an advantage. But is it an unobtainable advantage now? So my tips for getting as close to that predator squad that you can get, being like a platinum player, being a diamond player, being being a pub stomper, or being like a guy that just enjoys casual games but likes to win, right? My advice is get on the mic. And if you don't have a mic, get on the text to chat. Try to be nice. Try to make friends with people that you notice are better than the other people you've played with, and try to build a network of people that are on at different times. So that way, one sec. That way you're not like completely subjugated to like that predator squad that's three stacking and they're all together, because then at least you'll have a fighting chance. You'll have people that are maybe better than you. That's always good to have people that are better than you, because they teach you things. You can learn things from them. You could pick up stuff from them. But really try to build that network. Try to do it either through text to chat. Try to do it through a mic, because a mic is so much faster than doing text to chat. And the ping system is good, but honestly, having that communication is vital. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't think three stacking is cheating. I think that if they take it away, it's gonna piss a lot of people off. It's obviously gonna be annoying. I think the best that people can do, if they're applying it to like ranked, uh, go in pubs first and then meet some people that are good there, and then try to ask them, hey, what is your rank? Are you interested in playing ranked? You know what I mean? And then that way you kind of get a sense for how you guys play together. You get a sense for how good they are, and you're not losing RP doing it. There's not that tension. There's not that pressure. There's no like risk with it that, oh, I'm going to lose these points. Try to build up those people before you go into ranked. And if you're with like a duo, right, then maybe you'll get lucky and get that third, in rank that is good, and then you could meet them there. But honestly, you're going to want to meet them either, excuse me, I'm sorry. You're going to want to meet them either. I know it must look so weird. I keep burping like that, like I'm going to throw up. I'm sorry. I know that's disgusting. But anyways, you're going to want to either meet them on Reddit, go for Apex LFG, Apex looking for games, go on social media websites, go on Facebook, look for people that are similar skill sets, that are maybe even higher skill set, but are at least the same rank as you, and try to connect with them. Try to go into pubs, see how you guys play, see how you guys fight, see what they do, what their behaviors are. Are they more of a long range kind of person? Are they more of a mid range, get them low and then pull up with a close range like a R9 or something? Are they only close range like R9 wingman or Volt wingman? Try to get a taste for their play style. Try to see if your styles mesh, and then go into ranked and do it. So that way you're not losing RP. That way you have some confidence. That way you're kind of get your own little three stack going, right? Because honestly, I get it. I understand, like I said in the beginning of the video, I understand seeing that Predator three stack on the champion screen right before a game, it demoralizes you. But like I said, try to have that mindset of, oh, I'm not gonna, it's not certain that I'm gonna play against these guys, and if I do, I'm gonna be playing against people that are, more experienced, and maybe I can take something away from this fight. So that way you're not already defeated before you go in. Because a big deal, like I said, is when you see that, you get demoralized and you're not going to play at your best if you're already thinking, oh, I'm going to lose, right? You're going to want to be, thinking, okay, I'm going to try my hardest against these guys. So that way you put yourself, at that mental advantage where you're like, okay, I'm going to try my hardest. And then you're going to be playing your hardest. You're going to be playing your best too. Okay. So, that's my opinion. Get your own 3-stack going. Do what you can. Exhaust all options. Go in pubs. Try to find people. Try to talk to people. Go on social media. Go on websites. Go on Google. Type in Apex looking for games. Do what you can to give yourself an advantage. You know what I mean? And don't get discouraged if you meet a couple jerks. Right? Don't get discouraged. Don't let them tell you, how good you are. Don't to let them tell you should stop playing. Don't let them tell you you're never gonna make it, right? And what even is it? Making it to platinum, making it to diamond, like what the fuck? Like what kind of big deal is that? Why would they say that? You know what I mean? It's lame. It's lame. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like a lot of those predator guys, they're just better at networking, you know what I mean? And like, to be honest, like if you're a low level player, it's kind of like, oh, why would a high level player even want to play with me, right? And I'll tell you, I like to play with people that are lower skill sets than me for sure. You know what I mean? Especially if they're funny, or if they have like their own little quirks, right? Or they're just like cool, or like they can even be like awkward, and it's still fun to play with them because it's like, oh, they're awkward, or I don't like, not like, oh, haha, but like, oh, that's just different, you know what I mean? So like, don't automatically think I can't have I can't have that. I can't have high skill players that want to be friends with me, because it's not true. And we honestly get tired of that sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to say like, oh, I'm some big predator or something. I'm obviously not, but like, you know I don't know. It's fun to mix it up, you know what I mean? And not all level 500 players are good either way. You know what I mean? You never know if you're good at something and then like they pick up on that and they'll point it out to you because they have more experience, and then there you go, you know what I mean? You work at that and then you actually find, hey, maybe that might be my niche, right? So, yeah, I see that a lot. People think 3-stacking is cheating, specifically like another thing I see is like, oh, they should have their own lobbies or something, and like I see like, oh, in pubs they should have their own lobbies when they're high level, or in ranked people. This is a funny one I see. People should be hard stuck at Diamond Plus if they've ever hit Predator or Master, and then what's funny is I see people say, oh, if you're hard stuck diamond or platinum, you should be able to get demoted. You know what I mean? The community's really like, doesn't, there's one side saying one thing and there's another side saying another thing. You know what I mean? There's always going to be, but I personally think that if we had a combination of that, like if you're platinum or diamond and you get demoted, I think that would be good. And I do think that maybe predator players should be at, higher lobbies, you know what I mean? Unless they've been away for a long time, because that's not really fair, right? Like, that's not really fair if you're rusty and you haven't been playing, I know muscle memory plays a factor, like, oh, well, you've played at that level, so it's going to be a lot easier for you to get back at that level than someone who's never even been at that level. That is true, Doesn't matter how long you've been away. If you've ever done something really good, you're going to be able you're going to be able to get good faster than someone who's never even been at that level, period. But yeah, I don't know. I think they should definitely do better with the matchmaking though. Like if someone has a high KD, they should not be putting what I personally see, not even seeing like this online what other people are saying, but when I play personally, I do see a lot of like under level 100 players in the same lobby as me, and I'm like, I have a 4K and a 20 bomb. I got a 2.7 KD. Like, I don't think those players should be in my lobby. You know what I mean? Unless they're really that good. Because a lot of the times is when you're in, like, let's say you come from another FPS, right? Or maybe you've played Apex on another account. A lot of the times is when you start a new account and start fresh, you're going to be against like lower level players. And if you already know kind of what you're doing, or you were kind of already good at another FPS, if you play with low level players, you're going to get a high KD, right? And that doesn't mean that you're going to have a high KD against high level players. You know what I mean? That's not what that means. So like, I think they should really fix the matchmaking on that, because it is not fair to put, you know, level 100s or level 70s or level 50s with like the same KD as like level 500s or like ranked diamonds and stuff like that. That is not okay, you know. So I don't know. I think skill-based matchmaking can be worked on, definitely. I think that would improve people's experiences. I'm not completely against, you know, having different lobbies for higher skill players, you know. I'm not against that at all. I think that would actually help, because I feel like if there was more of a limit, because what I feel like they do is they do it for smurfing. Like, oh, you're getting a lot of kills, you're obviously smurfing, so we're going to put you in the higher level lobbies. And I feel like having a little bit more of like a gatekeep for those lower level players to stay in those lower lobbies, that would really help with like the casual players and the low level players, because then they wouldn't be, you know, like, oh, I started getting good at the game and I got a 2.0 KD. They wouldn't be getting put up with like level 500s and stuff like that. You know what I mean? There'd be a little bit more of a progression, and that would might keep them playing more, or that might keep them, you know, practicing more, and like that wouldn't demoralize them so quickly. Because what I feel like what happens is that people get into the game and then they get like stomped on by high level players, and I feel like that's where the whole three stacking thing even comes from, is because people are like, I don't want to play against these high level players. I don't want to get like, I don't want to die in a couple seconds and be in crazy lobbies. You know what I mean? People don't like that, you know, and why would they like that? I don't like that. I don't like dying to people right off bat, you know, especially if they're tap strafing around me, or they're shooting at me from like 300 meters away with like a fucking assault rifle. Who likes that? No one does. So I feel like if they just had like a better system for like keeping, you know, lower skill players that are blossoming, you know, that are like getting a lot of kills, that have like a higher like than 1.0 KD, if they had like some lobbies for them, or like some restrictions for putting them in those higher ranked lobbies, higher level lobbies, I feel like that would really help, you know? That would help with like people wanting to play the game, and that would help with people enjoying the game too, you know what I mean? So I don't know, it's definitely a complicated issue. I definitely don't feel like three stacking is cheating though. I feel like you can do it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when people use meta weapons or meta legends, like it's available to you. You know, maybe not legends, because you know you have to pay like the coins and stuff, you have to buy them, so maybe not that, but like and even then, you know, Gibby is like, I don't know, like to say Gibraltar, he's a meta legend and you get him already, you know what I mean? He's really meta. But getting off track here, I think if it's available in the game and you can do it too, it's not really cheating. I don't think it's abusing either, because predators are people too. Masters are people. I know it sounds so horrible when I say that. Predators are people too. I bet people are like, "What the fuck?" My neighbors had a party, but they're like, "What the fuck is wrong with this fucking kid?" But like, yeah, I feel like I feel like it's not cheating. I feel like it's not abusing the system, because they want to play with people that are the same skill set. They want to play with their friends. You know what I mean? Like, who wouldn't? Like, it's not fair to penalize them because like that, you know. Maybe if they had like pre-made like lobbies that had pre-made teams and only pre-made teams can go into them, I'd be game. I'd be down for that. You know what I mean? That's not I feel like that's not a big deal. You know, I think their matchmaking needs work though. You know, definitely not just in pubs, but in ranked arenas too. Like, I remember when I was grinding up to masters and stuff. Before I hit master, I remember I was getting paired with people that didn't even do their 10 matches yet. You know what I mean? When you first do ranked arenas, how it has the 10 matches to decide like what rank you should be or like what rank you should start at. I was getting those guys. I was playing with bronze players when I was platinum and diamond. When I was a master, I was playing with gold and platinum players. And it's so funny because like I'm in the same match with them, right? And then I go to add them because maybe they did good. And then I can't even ready up with them because they're like one rank difference away from me. It's like, what the fuck? Why am I allowed to randomly be matched up with them? That's the funny part too. Is if you're in a party with someone in ranked arenas, you can ready up at the same time and then get put in the same game as them. You know, and that just should not be a thing where you, because not only is it unfair to like, you know, let's say me, you know, a diamond or a master, not only is it unfair to me to be placed with like lower ranked players, but how is it fair that a gold player or a platinum player gets a master on their squad, and let's say you're with all platinum or you're with a platinum and a gold? How the hell is that fair? You know, I feel like they really need to work on the ranked arena system because that shit is stupid. And I also feel like they need to work on the ranked BR system. They need to make it to like you at least get 10 KP. Like 6 KP isn't nothing, dude. They need to make it to like they need to make it to reward those like people that get a lot of kills in the beginning but can't like last to the last ring, you know? They need to reward those people, and then they need, because I feel like it's so centered toward the end game. Like, oh, if you get a couple kills and then you get good high placement, then you get the reward. And I feel like that's not fair. I feel like a lot of the times, like, you know, if you can get more than 6 kills or more than 3 kills and 3 assists, you should be rewarded for it. You know what I mean? Because that makes ranking up easier. Because, like, I'll tell you, dude, getting 6 kills, like maxing out at 6 KP and then dying before 12 squads left, like, as a platinum player, all you're getting is 24 points, dude. Like, that is so annoying to deal with. And if you're a diamond player, you're only getting, like, what? 12? You know, and don't even get me started on ranked arenas, you know what I mean? It was like, I remember playing diamond from like diamond 4 to diamond or diamond 3 all the way to masters. It was plus 12 AP every match. You know my fucking my win rate on that was like 70, almost 80%, dude. It was, and you have to 3 stack at that point. When you're getting plus 12 and you're losing like anywhere from 12 to 100 plus points for one loss, you know, you have to win like more than half of your matches to even rank up, dude. And even then, you're ranking up so slow, dude. It was like 8+ hours a day I would do that, dude. It was so ridiculous. You know what I mean? I can't even imagine the guys that are high-level players but don't have that time to put in. They're not being fairly treated, you know, and that goes along with what I was saying with BR with the kills, you know. And to expand on the ranked arenas a little more, the reason why I feel like people lose a lot of points in there is because the servers they're on, or the people that are on at that time, they can be like only platinum players playing at that time, right? Only gold players playing at that time. And they have a way lower MMR than you. So if you're like a diamond player trying to grind up to masters, or you're a master player trying to grind up to predator, and you only have gold and like silver players available on your server, you're gonna lose points. You know what I mean? You're going to lose a lot of points. And what's messed up is not only are you going to lose a lot of points for playing against them if you do lose, but if you win because their MMR is so low, and this is why I feel like a lot of people get stuck at that plus 12 and then they just quit out on ranked arenas, is because when you win against someone that has such a low MMR, like a lower MMR than you, you're not going to get a lot of points for beating them. You're going to get the bare minimum, and the bare minimum is like 10 or 12 like points. Like that's why people quit on ranked arenas so much, is because you literally don't have those high MMR players that you need to be playing against to get good points. And not only that, but sometimes they're low ranked in arenas, but they're really good at pubs, or they're really good at ranked BR, and they're just playing it for fun, right? Or they're just like, they don't care, they're not grinding it out. And they could have a super high skill set, but because they have that low rank and that low MMR, you're still going to lose a lot of points because, you know what I mean? The rank system is stupid. So like, I don't know. I feel like, in my personal opinion, I feel like if there was like a win streak kind of thing where, like, let's say you win, like, let's say, like, I don't even know if in a row, because like if you win 5 matches in a row, that's kind of hard to do. You know what I mean? I feel like if you're on like a general hot streak, like you get like 1 loss, but you get 4 wins, you should be getting more points than if you just got 1 win and 1 loss, 1 win and 1 loss. You know what I mean? Because then at least if you were playing against lower level players, those points would add up in the streak. You know what I mean? Like the more wins you get, the more points you get, because obviously you're a higher ranked player, or obviously you're putting a lot of time into it, right? I feel like it should add up, or there should be like some kind of multiplier, like a win streak multiplier. I feel like that would really, really help people. And not only would it help people, but I feel like it would keep them engaged. But there also has to be a limit on that, because like I said, the servers that only have gold players, if you're playing against gold players and you're playing on a server that doesn't have any high ranked players and you're getting that win streak multiplier, you can abuse that, right? And that's a problem within itself with that system. So that would have to be sorted out too if that was ever, applied. But basically, kind of to get back to the point of like, is 3 stacking cheating? Is it bad? No, I don't think it is. I think the matchmaking is bad. I think the way they group people up, based on KD, or like based on hidden MMR and arenas ranked, I think that's messed up for sure. I think they should do something to like, like if you're getting a 2.0 KD against other level 100s, you should still be kept in a lower like lobby, right? Let's say lobby. Let's just say a lobby for like, like the whole 60 teams. And if you're like, then let's say they put you in like a level 200 to 300, or level 150 to 350 range. If you still keep that 2.0 KD, then you should stay in those lobbies. And then, after a while, they put you in like level 350 to 400, or level 350 to 500. And then if your KD goes down, okay, then they keep you back at those level 150 to 350. Like I said, I feel like they should have ranges for this stuff. I feel like they should have like a 3.0 KD that moves you up to the next range. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. And even then, maybe more than that, I mean, like for match, not obviously not lifetime, because like to move your lifetime up, that's hard, but, and not season either. I mean, like maybe for that, like a 7-day period, or like a 24-hour period, you know what I mean? And like if you have like a 3.0 KD overall, they should bump you up for sure. But yeah, my thoughts are on it is that, 3 stacking isn't broken, but the matchmaking definitely is. So hopefully you guys got some tips on like how to improve your game, how to gave you some ideas. Maybe you could take your own thing from it. How to play better, how to 3 stack in your own way, how to network with better players. Trust me, guys. Go on Reddit, go on Facebook, whatever. Go on Apex looking for games. Go on Apex LFG. You know, if you go to the main Apex Legends subreddit on Reddit and you look to like sister like sister subreddits, I think it's called like official like other subreddits like that are related to that one. You'll see it says Apex LFG, and that's what that is. That's for players that want to look for games for each other. And even in the main Apex Legends subreddit, they do have in their thread, they have like a free talk, it's called, and then you can drop your like user tag, your gamer tag or your username in there, your PlayStation Network name. And you can find players that are like level 500 that are willing to play with like level 100 players or level 50 players, or like, you know, and then you can get better that way. You can enjoy the game more, and then that way you could put yourself at an advantage. You know what I mean? Obviously, the repercussion is when you play with a 500 player, you're going to be in higher level lobbies, right? But you know, it'll help you. You can find people that are lower level. You can put in your post, I want lower level players. You can put whatever you want. You could find like specifically what you need, and there's other people looking for you. I'll tell you that right now. There's always people looking for like any level of player, any rank of player. You know what I mean? So, excuse me. Yeah, definitely try to use every advantage you can, and not to speak down on it before I go, not to speak down on people, but you don't want to be the guy you don't want to be the guy who's having a bad time playing and complaining because he can't, he's playing with randoms all day, or he can't, he feels like he can't find any good players, just playing pubs. Don't be that guy. Not because, like I hate that person, that theoretical person, but more of because like you're not going to enjoy the game. Straight up, you're not going to want to play. It's not going to be fun. And, games are addicting, and if you're going to be addicted to something, you might as well make it enjoyable, right? As bad as that sounds, but it's a video game. But yeah, if you're going to do something, if you're going to play something, you might as well make it as an enjoyable experience as possible and put yourself at the highest advantage you can. So that's my little 2 cents on that subject. So hope you guys have a good day, and hope you guys got something out of this. So, yeah.